Okay, so, Atomicrops. Did you ever wake up and go, I don't want to play Stardew Valley because there isn't enough shooting in it, but I also don't want to play Enter the Gungeon because I want to grow stuff? Good news. Someone somehow knew you were out there. Yeah, so Atomicrops is just that. It's a high APM bullet hell roguelite where you grow crops. Your goal is to plant and harvest crops while defending from enemies trying to eat them. Be warned though, this game is not going to make it easy for you. You start off by spawning into your farm with a 3x3 land plot ready for planting. You will have to till the soil before planting seeds, and fertilize and water them before the plants will be ready to harvest. And in case that seems too straightforward, weeds will grow on every space that is left unattended, and you will run out of water and need to refill it. And you are timed. And eventually things will start shooting at you. And the only way you will ever be able to get any serious upgrades and power-ups will involve actually leaving your farm. There is some respite in finding helpers. Cows, pigs, bees, and chickens will help with the tasks like weeding and watering, while turrets can be planted to help ward off enemies. There are also plenty of roguelite upgrades to be found on your adventures, ranging from passives to single use to the ultimate, your tractor. There are a few versions of the tractor available, ranging from utility to farm aid to combat, that can be summoned after building up a meter through combat and farming actions. The biggest reason to leave your farm though is finding more seeds. Seeds are needed for planting crops, and most of your seeds will come from killing things away from the farm. Crop types run the gamut, from quicker growing but more resource intensive, to more plant and forget types, to trees that will continue to produce produce. Then throw in some roses for wooing a partner, and heartbeats for replenishing health. My only tip here is to try to plant 4 of the same seed type in a 2x2 square plot. While being a little more time and resource heavy, the mutated crop is worth more than the 4 individuals. Oh, and make sure to fertilize everything. Many of the animals you kill will drop fertilizer, which will increase growth speeds, and is actually required to merge those 2x2 super crops. The goal of each playthrough is to survive an entire year. Each year is broken down into 4 seasons, and each season is broken down into 3 days, with the 3rd day being a boss fight. Then each day is broken down into a separate day and night phase. The day phase acts as a prep phase, where you can safely work on your farm, or leave and try to find more supplies. Then night is the combat phase. And while you can care for your farm at night, it'll get progressively more difficult with each passing day as more and tougher enemies will spawn. If you can survive the night phase, you will be brought back to town where you will trade in your harvested crops for money. In town, you will be able to buy a few items and weapon upgrades. Then with the roses that you've harvested, you can start working on a relationship status with a potential partner. In return for the roses, you will get upgrades, and if you can get the relationship status high enough, you will be able to get married, and your partner will join you on the farm and help tend it. While I originally liked the super saturated and bold color choices, as I progressed, this became a major hindrance. There was so much stuff on the screen, while having such strong colors and so much movement in the animations. Keeping track of what was an enemy, let alone their kill priority, while trying to dodge projectiles and trying to shoot back was already pushing me beyond my limits. Then the entire tending to the crops took me over the edge. Admittingly, I am not great at high APM games, and I only completed Year 1 once in the time I played for this review. And that one success felt like everything had to line up perfectly for me to succeed. So trying to sum up my take on Atomicrops has been difficult. To reiterate, I am not good at micro-intensive games, and I feel like that has a lot of weight on why I have such a negative perception of this game. I don't know if this is just me being a sore loser though, because I can normally find positives to talk about with games that I don't like, but I am somewhat struggling here. Atomicrops has a novel mixture of genres that's parts are decent enough separate, but not only miss transcending into being better than the sum, but actively sabotage each other. Bullet hells are already quite actively engaging. Planning and tending to crops is already enough multitasking to require focus. But having both of these aspects of the game screaming for more of my attention while I am already maxed out wasn't fun. It was just stressful for the sake of making a game difficult. Pushing everything to the extreme doesn't necessarily make it better, and that's what Atomicrops feels like it is trying to do. And maybe if all you are looking for is a new tough as nails roguelite game, Atomicrops can fill that for you. Maybe everything cranked to 11 is a boon for you. Maybe you can actively multitask multiple heavily attention-demanding tasks effectively. But if none of that sounds like something you want, I would say Atomicrops is probably a hard pass. Thanks for watching.